Welcome to the Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkovic. Today we're going to talk about secret weapon that I have. Now, if you're in my bow hunting whitetails course, you know I've talked about this extensively in there. If you listen to my podcast, I talked about it quite a bit on there as well too. But what it is it's a secret weapon. It lets you hunt places where other people don't go. It also is a retrieval tool as well for animals that go into places you don't expect them to go. And it's been very good. I've used this thing about 6 times now, and it's been fantastic every single time. Used it in 3 different states now to recover animals. And here in Michigan, I've used it twice to get into places where other people can't be at. And it's come in very handy. Getting ready, I'm going to set it up, make sure everything's all good because I haven't used it in about a year, and I want to make sure that everything is perfect because we're going to need to use it with my wife here when we go down to Georgia on this hog hunt. We're going down there, so we're going to use it then. So what we're talking about is this guy right here, okay? This is it. This is an Intex Seahawk 20, okay? Very lightweight, very simple little inflatable boat. Very compact. Now the pump is in here. Everything is in here that I have. This is how I carry that kit. And it actually, what I can do with it is I strap it right with this T-section. I strap it right on my pack, right on my back. And this ride's just strapped right on the back of my pack. And it's sweet, easy. It's not very heavy. I don't know. I don't know. The specs are on there, but I'm guessing it's probably 15, 18 pounds, maybe 20 pounds, but not heavy at all. Nothing to worry about and very easy to pack and put places. And then I have these ultralight oars. And this whole kit is incredibly expensive. About the cost of a set of waders is what this is. So very, very affordable. I'll put a link down below to it. I had to do a couple mods to this. But these are the oars. You can use them 2 different ways, which I'll show you. But with this system, and the pump that's in here and the fast pump they come with, I can blow this up in about 8 to 10 minutes. 6 if I'm really hurrying, and 8 if I'm doing it normal, and 10 if I'm really taking my time. So very quick to set this boat up, which I will do, because like I said, the whole reason I'm doing this video, we're getting ready to take this down to Georgia with us, and I want to make sure it's good. If this one that I have here is pushing almost 4 years old, doesn't get used all the time, but like I said, 6-8 times this thing's been out there, and it's been a lifesaver for that stuff, and it always travels with us when we go out of state, except for when I'm taking my canoe to places, because then I obviously have a canoe. But on my Missouri trips, Ohio trips, all that kind of stuff, this boat is always with us in a bin and in my in the trailer with us too. So, but very sweet, very simple and functional. I will show it to you and how it works, and I'll break it down, put it together for you. A couple things I did on the oars. The oars can be used 1 of 2 ways. I have rubber stoppers on here so I can put them in there and actually roll like an oar, or like oars on a boat. Or I have this connection piece and I can put them together, lock this down, and it's pretty solid, and I can actually use it like a kayak paddle as well too. So you got either or option with it. One thing I did not like, because I do use this in cold weather, okay? If it's warm weather, I'd rather just walk through the water, but I'm using this in cold weather. The ends of the oars would fill up, both of these ends would get water in them, and then when you would tip it up, all that water would come rushing down, hit my hand, come down my arm, and soak my clothes. So I actually took and I put silicone on there, basically just regular bathroom type silicone here, but you can see it. But I put white silicone to close off those gaps that you're seeing on there. That way there's no chance of any water getting down into those. The water runs right off. Huge improvement on these. Just an absolute huge improvement. Didn't take me but 2 seconds to do, but now when I'm running that, I don't get any of that water coming down, working its way. If you got that set right, like that, I don't have any of that water when I come in and I lift up there. I don't have the water running down and hitting me. So it does make a huge difference, big factor, something I wanted to point out on there for it. But this system is great. Like I said, if you don't want to use this, you can take this plug here right off completely. Both of them are enclosed. They're ultra light. These little things are ultra. They're like as light as a trekking pole. And they're already enclosed on the end, and they're sweet, simple, and easy. So it's a pretty beautiful system. And I will show you, I got to unwrap this thing to find a pump, because like I said, I keep it all right inside here. But I'm going to take a second, get it ready, and then we'll pump it up, and I'll show you what this thing's all about. But for the money, it's a beautiful, beautiful system. Like where we're going into Georgia, we're going back down there hog hunting. My wife does not want to be wading through waist deep water out there. We don't have another set of waders for her. We have hip boots, but hip boots aren't good enough. And for us to go through there, she doesn't want to deal with that. There are gators here. There are snakes here. There are all kinds of things. And she's not comfortable with it. So what's nice about this is we can use this boat, use it to get across these waterways, whether it's 250, 400 yards, whatever it is, to cross these swamps to get on the other side, and we can actually use this boat to do it with both of us in there and our gear and everything very conveniently. And it's also very easy to pack down, because a lot of these times you're going to have to carry this for a weight. Sometimes you might be right at a river where you can just launch right in, but a lot of times we have to actually carry this down there, carry it through the woods 100, 200, 300 yards down. Then when we get down there, blow it up at the river, set it, and get across there. My spots where I use this on the Muskegon River here in Michigan, because the parts of the Muskegon where I wanted to cross at, they were too deep. They were over my head too deep, so there was no way to wade them. This came in excellent. I could hike this in there 600 yards from where I would park the truck through the woods with this strapped on. I'd wear my pack, my tree stands and sticks, load slung between my pack and my frame, and then this connected to the compression straps on the back of that pack, right on the back here like that. And like I said, you just walk right through the woods. It was no big deal. My bow in one hand, those two lightweight oars in the other hand, and it was very simple to get there. Hit the river, blow this thing up, get across that 45-yard wide river stretch of river right there, leave the boat on the other side, hunt, come back, tie it off and leave it right there on shore for the next day, come back the next day or a day later, get back in there and use it. And when I'm done, I could just deflate it, pack it up, and put it away. So sweet, simple little system. I'm going to back the camera up a little bit so you got some room here, and we'll unpack this thing and show you what it's all about. All right. Now, as I have this set here, the way I actually set this is actually dock line that I had laying around at home, so it was real easy to use. But I basically just put a couple half hitches in this side here, because I made this all one simple rope. So that's what holds it together right here. And then I have this loop, as you can see, this loop tied on here. So I pull the rope comes out of this loop, comes from underneath the whole boat, and then comes through itself right here. So that's how I get that simple, easy cross with a rope that only has one loop on it. Sweet, simple, and easy. So it's a very simple, functional way to tie this thing up. So when I take this here and I open it, just like this, like I said, two-person boat. I will put the specs on here for you because I don't actually know what they are, but I will get the specs on there for how many. But it's a two-person boat without any problem. Actually, does it say on here? It says holds 440 pounds. 440 pounds, and you can even put up to a 1.5 horsepower motor on this thing. Two people. And there's some real nice advantages to it in the fact that this boat has got multi-air chambers in it. So if you were to hit something and get a flat, you're not actually going to sink. So it's a pretty sweet setup. I will show it to you. Here's my pump that I use for this. My spare tape that goes in my little thing right there in case I do get a puncture. But this is the pump right here. So you can see, let me get some light on here for you. But this is a fast pump, double pump. So what that means is this pump works in both directions. So not only does it work when I go up, and I got some Velcro on there just to keep everything locked together here for the hose. And get it all unhooked here. Just some little straps. Just to keep everything nice and neat, nothing getting lost. But what happens with this is it pumps in both directions. So when you're using this, when you're standing on it, down blows air in, up also blows air in. So you're actually putting air into it each way you go is loading this thing full of air. So it's a really sweet system. Now, like I said, you have multiple air chambers in here. Let me get this set up here. Very simple to do. Just take the pump, put the plug or the hose right on the bottom of the pump. That's all there is to it. Nothing, very sweet, very simple. Now, when you get set, I believe there was an order of which ones you're supposed to inflate first. And I honestly don't remember what it is, but as far as inflating it, whichever way you go, there are multiple outer and inner chambers. So we are going to do the first one here first. Let me screw that all in so it's set. So it locks in. You guys see where I'm at? Yeah, okay, you can see me. Okay, then we open this one. Now that that one's in. Oh, come on here, switch it out. There we go, we put that back in. You got two different plugs, so you got one that's going to let it enter and one that's going to let it exit out. Then you're going to pull your cap off of there. Stick this right inside of there. So it's in there, and then you're going to take that pump. Let me make sure you can see me, yep. And then you're just going to stand on that pump and you're going to work both sides of this. So you're just going to hold it in and you can see that it pumps both directions, in and out. Alright, that does that one. Close off your valve. It's pretty much a one-way valve, so it's not going to give you problems. Then we got the inside chamber here too, which you see right here. That's nice because when we inflate this, you're not going to sink. Then you have the bottom one. So it's actually 3 different chambers. I'm going to pause that, finish pumping it up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here it is, all blown up, all ready to go. There are a couple things to note. One are, you can see I got the oar locks on there, which are pretty sweet, so you can put the oars in it if you want to. That's kind of a nice feature. They give you a rod holder if you're fishing out of it. Like I said, this boat's kind of got a cult following. There's a lot of people that swear by these. They'll put a 2-horse motor on this thing, or a troller and a battery, and they'll go out and fish in these things forever. Now, a couple things that's unique about this particular boat. Double air chambers, okay? So you saw me blow up the outer chamber, which is all the way out to here, okay? This line, it goes around here. That's that outer chamber that runs. You can see that seam all the way around. It comes to right here. That outer chamber is what you saw me blow up. Now, what's really cool about this boat is it's got double chambers. You have this inner chamber, which you fill from here. The outer chamber you fill from here. Then you have the inner floor chamber as well too. What makes that really cool is with this setup, if you were to scrape the bottom of this, or if you were to hit this and say you caught this outer chamber and you did somehow puncture this, say you caught a piece of an old shopping cart that you didn't know was in the river and you came across the sharp edge of it or something and blew this, or caught a rock wrong and you popped this, you still won't sink because this whole inner chamber that's in here and protected is still full of air. It's separate. This chamber is separate from the outer chamber, so this will actually keep you still floating and keep you from going down. And then you can pull over to shore. You can take their patch kit you got or duct tape and fix whatever it is, re-blow up the outer chamber, and continue right on your way. They also have the floor is ridged like this, which is nice. So when you get into it, and there's a deep gap, you can see how deep, watch how deep my hand goes down into here. That's below all of this. So what happens is when you get in here with wet boots and you step into it, all that water goes through these channels and down into that real deep groove all the way around. So you can actually sit in this and not worry about getting wet. Now I actually prefer to sit on the back and she'll sit on the front of this thing when we're going across there. But it's a beautiful system. But they also give you this stash bag right here, waterproof stash pouch, dry pouch, where I have the connection for the oars if I want to run the oars. And then in here also they give you a couple things that are cool. The rope, this is just dock line. I think they give you, I don't remember if I supplied this or if they give it to you. They do have lash marks all the way around it if you want to put a rope around it. I don't do that. I just use it when I get up to shore. I tie it on the front. I tie this around a tree. But I'm pretty sure they give you a rope. It may not even be this particular one. But they do give you a patch kit right here. As I said, I also carry duct tape too, because duct tape is a heck of a patch kit. So I got probably 10 feet of duct tape right here if I need it. But then they give you this little strip right here, which I'm going to come over and show you. It is just a little laminated, or just a plastic strip right here. And I'm sure the light's probably too far back. But what this is it's got a 10 centimeter measuring tool on this, is what this particular thing is. You can probably see it against my pants. But it's a 10 centimeter measuring tool. There are 2 places on this boat. One you can see right here, okay? So when you're pumping this full, you can take this piece and lay it on there and measure, yep, that's how much you want expansion on there. There's another one here on the back that I can put this on right here and I can go, okay, there's the expansion on there. So it lets you see when you're actually full enough and not overflow, because you can see this boat is designed to be kept pretty stiff. So they give you all those things. Keep them right in that stash pocket, right in here, with anything else you want to put in there. And like I said, 100% enclosed, rolls up like a dry bag. There it is, and this is connected right to there. You can put it anywhere you want. We just leave it right in there. So that's that boat. Now, when we're on here, like I said, you got the oar locks, but when I get into this, I usually get in and I sit right back here, just like this on this. I use it as a kayak paddle and go that way. She can sit right on the front of that, but you can see how strong and sturdy this boat is. We are not going anywhere, and it is rock solid. It says on here, now it's blown up, I can see it right here. It says 2 people. 2 people, for the 2 people it can be 330 pounds, 2 people plus the gear. and cannot equal more than 520 pounds. So this thing will hold 520 pounds, which is pretty insane. And even in front, as you can see here too, like I said, your feet don't sink down in there too far, but you can be right here and set up in here and have two people in here perfectly with a kayak paddle, or you can take your oars, pop them out of your locks here, slide off this rubber cup, because you want this to hold them on. You take and put your oars through the oar lock, then you put your rubber grommets back on, and these will keep those oars from falling out. So if you let go of them, they're not going to actually come out of the boat. And then you can sit here and row. I got a coffee table there, but you can row it like you would a boat. If you let go of the oars, they're not coming out because they're actually locked into that oar lock, which makes it really nice. So that's the beauty of having these little oar locks on here. But like I said, me personally, I usually use it as a kayak paddle is how I do it. But it's nice, like I said, you could be in this boat on your knees like this, facing the other way obviously, but you can be in this, or even this way facing it and rowing like you would, but you don't get any water on you because that water drops into these really deep side grooves on here. The only water would be what came off your boots as you stepped in from the shore, but you're completely protected against that, getting that on your clothes, which makes it really nice. So it's a beautiful system. It's got the rub guards right here on the side. Like I said, for the money, this thing is dirt cheap, rock solid, and it gets you through there. And like I said, it weighs next to nothing. This boat is basically, like I said, I'll look up the specs on it, but there's no weight to this thing at all. I mean, it weighs nothing. It's a very light, little, simple, just a functional little boat, and pretty flawless in design. So there you have it. That's it right there. That's the Intex Seahawk 2. They make it in a 3, they make it in a 4, they make a bunch of different models of it. But this one here I think is the ultimate to get you into those places where, you know, normally you can't because the water's too deep for waders, or you don't want to deal with that stuff, cold weather, you can't swim across it, whatever the case is. This little dude comes in super, super handy. It's kind of, again, the secret weapon, and then it folds down and packs. So to let the air out of this thing, I'm not doing it yet because I want to make sure there's no leaks in it. But you pull the plugs, these are huge plugs, this thing will empty quick, and they put both plugs at the back end, which is all three of the plugs are right here, which is really nice. So when you pull them, you can just start from this end and start rolling this thing, and it just shoots that air right out of there. And it takes you about 10 minutes, pack it up, tie it up, put it away. So there you go. Thanks for watching. There will be a link down below to this boat on there for you. And like I said, it'll change the way you hunt. So, all right, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.